But if you can just pick one thing and start, and then you focus on only that thing, and you say no to a lot of other things that pop up. Welcome to the Ryan Rice Show, where we talk about what we learned yesterday that we can apply today so that we can be better tomorrow. I hope you enjoy and subscribe. What is going on, everyone? I had someone in my community reach out to me earlier this week, and we had a really, really good exchange, and I thought it was good enough to share the story here because I think it's an exchange that you guys could get value out of, and there's a really good lesson to be learned. So she reached out to me, and she asked me a whole bunch of questions, and the questions were around what am I focused on each day? How am I deciding what to prioritize my time on? What are my goals this year? What am I looking to accomplish, etc.? And so I responded back and I said, hey, let me think about answers to all those questions, but help me understand some context around why you're asking. Like, what problem are you trying to solve? And she responded back and she said, well, I really want to build my passive income with creative finance. I really want to do new construction. I'm also flipping and I'm learning how to wholesale at the same time. And I'm struggling to figure out like how to prioritize my time, what routine should I have, etc. And so I asked her, I said, well, why are you trying to do so many different things? And she said, well, I want to create financial freedom. And then she had a whole bunch of really, really cool reasons that were very personal to her, why she wanted financial freedom and what she was going to use that money for. And it was really, really neat stuff. And then she said, oh, by the way, I also got my real estate license and I'm listing my own flips. And I said, okay, well, do you think that there would be a higher probability for you to make more money in the long run if you picked one of those things and then just focused on it for an extended period of time? And a summary of what, I'm paraphrasing, but basically she said, well, that's a really good point. And I want to talk about this because I see so many people, it seems like people really have trouble, number one, deciding what to focus on, and then two, focusing on one thing for an extended period of time. And, another example of this is there's someone else in my community and he was trying to flip and wholesale on his own. And then he went out and got his real estate license, and then he got his GC license, and he's trying to do all these things. And I think a lot of times we get trapped in this idea of like, man, I'm leaving money on the table because I'm flipping houses and I don't have my real estate license, or I'm leaving money on the table because I'm flipping houses or no, I'm leaving money on the table because I have my real estate license, and then when I'm talking to clients, there are things that they need to do for their house, and so I might as well get my GC license so I can help them with those things. Or because I've had flipping experience, I know how to do construction, and so now I'm going to get in and do construction. And before you know it, there's like 10 different things that you're trying to focus on, and that is going to become very, very difficult to scale. And our money goes where our attention flows. And if we can focus our attention on one thing for an extended period of time, then our probability of making money is going to significantly increase over a long period of time. And when I say a long period of time, like 5 to 10 years. Imagine if you focused on one thing for 5 to 10 years and how powerful, and all of your attention was focused on that, how powerful that would be, as opposed to the other option, which is I'm going to try 5 different things and see which one sticks. Well, the problem is, like, if you try 5 different things, none of them are going to stick because you don't have your attention capacity caps at some point. And at some point, you're not going to have the ability to focus all of your attention on any one thing that matters because it's diverted across so many different things. And one reason why I think a lot of people do this as well is because I see a lot of people say things like, well, I want to find my passion. I don't know what I'm passionate about. And I have a personal belief around that in and of itself, and you don't have to have this belief, but something that has served me well is I don't think the thing that you go do for the first time needs to be something that you're overly passionate about. Because the problem is, like, when we try anything for the first time, we really suck at it. And it's hard to be passionate about anything that we suck at. But you know what happens if you focus on that thing over an extended period of time? you actually get really, really good. And then guess what you become passionate about? The things that you're really, really good at. And so I don't know that people that want to get in and to all these different things at the same time, and the belief that like the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to find my passion. I don't know that that's going to actually help the problem that they're trying to solve to begin with, which and many times entrepreneurs get into business and they want to figure out how they can maximize the amount of income that they're making so that they can do whatever they want to do with it. And I think the I want to find my passion thing can lead to a bit of a fallacy, because when we start a business for the first time, we're going to suck at it, and that probably means we're not going to be passionate about something that we suck at. Real quick, as you guys know, I just recently started this podcast. If you could give it a rating with a quick tap of the thumb, that would mean the world to me, and even more importantly, it could help spread the word to a broader audience, which in turn could help change a life. Thank you so much, and let's get back to the show. And so I wanted to share this quick story with you, because if as entrepreneurs we can pick one thing and have it be something that we don't necessarily feel that we have to be super overly passionate about, and then we can focus on that one thing for a very long time, then that's really going to serve us. And think about this, like when Mark Zuckerberg, for example, when he started Facebook, for those of you that have seen the movie The Social Network, he started Facebook as kind of like a joke. And it was this thing within his own college that he was trying to implement and roll out. And, you know, it was an internal college community. But he didn't start Facebook in his dorm room with the intent of creating the world's largest social platform that has ever existed. And he didn't start it with the intent of, I'm going to create something where tens of millions of eyeballs are going to be every single month. No, it started as something much different, much smaller. And as he progressed in his business, different types of opportunities arose, and then he took advantage of those opportunities, and now he has created what he has created. And so you don't need to go in and start your business with this grandiose idea of what it's going to be 10 years from now. You just need to start. And then what happens is, as you start, the thing just grows and different opportunities arise, and then they turn into something that you didn't know that they could turn into. And I think that's the power of starting a business. And I think the same thing for Jeff Bezos, right? When Jeff Bezos started Amazon out of his garage, he didn't start Amazon thinking like, I'm going to create this business that is going to deliver anything and everything that anyone wants delivered to their door within the next 24 hours at the touch of a button, right? He created a business and he wanted to sell books, and then selling books turned into something different, and then it turned into something more. And he saw opportunity, and along the way, he took that opportunity and he created something more out of it because of the opportunity that he took in the first place. And so I think a big fallacy that a lot of people who get into business, they think that they have to have this big grandiose, idea of where their business is going to be 10 years in the future. And the reality is that you just kind of have to start and then see what happens and see what it turns into. When I first started investing in real estate full time, my intention was to just stack a bunch of rentals. All I wanted to do was stack a bunch of rentals. And then I learned the skill sets that were required to acquire homes. And then I started flipping. I had no desire to get into wholesaling, but then I saw how helpful it was from a cash conversion cycle in a business. And then so I started wholesaling. And so a lot of the things that I'm doing now, I had never imagined that I would have done in the first place. And the reason that I'm doing them now is just because I got started doing something, right? I got started with the intent of creating a business that I could stack a bunch of rentals. And now what I'm doing is different. And that's the whole part of the process. And so I think in summary, if you can just pick one thing and get started, and it doesn't have to be this grandiose idea of having crystal clarity where that business is going to be 10 years from now. But if you can just pick one thing and start, and then you focus on only that thing, and you say no to a lot of other things that pop up that are tempting because, you might be able to capitalize on some short-term money, and you learn how to say no to those things, then in the long run, you have a significantly higher probability of building something that's kind of special. And then the opportunities that arise along that path are going to bring you even more opportunities that you never would have thought of before. And the only way that those opportunities arise are because you picked the thing and you grew the one thing, and it grows to the point where you get those opportunities and they're put in front of you. And so, short and sweet, I wanted to share that story because I think a lot of people are in this boat, and I've seen a lot of people in this boat. And it's a philosophy that I am living by in my business, and I'm so laser focused. I had someone message me last week in my community, and he said, "Hey, I love what you're doing. I'd really like to get into apartment syndications with you. Do you want to do that?" And I essentially said, "I think that is a great opportunity, but right now I'm so laser focused on what it is that I'm doing that it's not something that I'm interested in pursuing." I had another guy a couple weeks ago. "Hey, I got this amazing deal in Florida. It's this development deal." And I said, "Hey, that sounds like a really cool deal, but it's not for me right now because I'm so laser focused on what it is that I'm doing." And if you can learn to just pick the thing that you want to focus on and learn to say no to other opportunities that are going to come at you in the meantime, and you just stay focused on what you're doing, you, I think, will be surprised on the things that are put in front of you and the evolution that your business is naturally going to have because you're focusing on that one business. It's growing. There's going to naturally be different opportunities within that business that are going to present themselves, and you're not going to, they're going to be opportunities that you didn't know even existed beforehand. So wanted to share that exchange. I hope you guys got some value out of that. And I really, really appreciate you guys listening. Thank you so much for all the feedback recently on this podcast. And I'm continuing to make it with the intent of sharing all of the learnings that I've had with you and any interactions that I think would be helpful and I think could add value to you guys. I'm doing my best to document them so that I can tell the stories in a way that are going to help you guys. So thank you so much for listening. And until the next episode, I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Peace.